Welcome back, you guys. We have an M&P 2.0 here today. We're going to end up doing a little bit different of a process that we have not done before. Kind of wanted to take you through that, give you a feel for us as a company, the service and how it's done, and give you all the way down from the beginning of a factory to the end of what is a final product. So there happens to be a pretty big journey here. Want to just kind of guide you through that. Let's talk about it here a little bit. So first and foremost, we're going to be cutting an optic to the rear of the slide. We're going to be removing the factory dovetail, and we're going to be adding a Glock style dovetail back to the weapon on the rear of the slide. So optic cut in this zone, dovetail cut in this zone. So overall, we're going to keep the dovetail to the rear. It is going to be a Glock style. Trijicon or a hollow sun optic is going to be mounted right up in this zone here, and then that's going to kind of take care of the back zone and the work that we're going to be performing there. We're going to then end up coming up here to the front. We're going to shave our sides. So we're going to do a front shave, going to come down at an angle right across the front. We're going to remove the M&P 9, and we're going to remove all the text that they put here on what would be the front right-hand side. We're going to shave that down so it's really nice and clean, give us a little bit of weight reduction there. We're going to end up doing a dual side window. So we're going to have some dual side windows up in here. We're going to be able to see a little bit of barrel. That's going to be pretty cool overall. I always like the removal of factory text because it's clean, and I always like to see barrel. So that's kind of a win-win there. Now, one of the other things that we're going to be doing at the same time that we end up doing the side windows is we're going to be cutting a Cobra nose. So we're going to be able to see a little bit of that nose at the end of the barrel through the side of the slide. It's pretty cool. Overall, gives you a little bit more of a visualization in the event you were to go with something like a colored barrel or some sort of a polished barrel. It does just give you a little bit more barrel, side windows, and barrel. So it gives you a little more visual overall from what would be kind of like the beginning to the middle of the slide. Overall, it's just visually just a little bit more pleasing. Now, one of the last things that we're going to be doing is the Raptor Cuts. So we're going to do some Raptor Cuts on the top zone here. We're going to be able to see a little bit of barrel on those edges. So up on the top, up on the side, little on the side, we are going to be able to see some barrel as well. So overall, big weight reduction. Cosmetically, we're going to see a big change overall here. Real pleased with what we're going to go with there. Now, in the end, we're going to end up doing Earth E130. That is an elite-based color, so it's a couple steps up above the H series that we typically offer. Obviously, we can order colors. This was a special request. We did have to order this color. Very curious on how it's going to come out, what it actually is going to look like. We've never sprayed Earth. It just came in. So as of right now, we're going to try to turn this work out. We're going to try to get to the point of when we can actually start doing the Cerakoting. Really curious on what it's going to look like. We do have some frames here, some barrels here. We're going to do a little bit of mix and match in the end, get a real feel for the color, the cut, the barrel, what it would look like if we were to do a barrel, a threaded barrel, and some things like that. So we happen to have a lot of different options here at the end that we're going to kind of just expose out here and really see what it comes out and looking like. So guys, what we're going to first start with is we're going to jump over to the Tormach. We're going to go ahead and get that optic done, that rear dovetail done. More than likely, while it's sitting in this position in the vise, we're going to go ahead and get those Raptor Cuts done. We're going to roll it, shave the side, do our dual side windows, and do the Cobra nose, flip it, and repeat. At that point, we're on to coloring. Guys, let's go ahead and get this thing started over on the Tormach 770. We're going to... All right, guys, I want to take a moment and really kind of just go over the work that we had performed here. We happen to do the E130 Earth coloring, something we've never sprayed before. Definitely an interesting coloring. Let's just take a couple minutes here and let's explain the work that was performed. So, happen to cut that for the Trijicon / Hollow Sun. There's a couple other optics on there that seem to use the same screw stance, same footprint as the Hollow Sun or Trijicon, but nonetheless, those are the most common that people request for that. We ended up putting a Hollow Sun on it here today, one of the in-house optics. Really kind of just wanted to give you a real overall picture, just kind of show it off a little bit better. Ended up cutting the dovetail to the rear of the Optic. We don't really offer this as a standard service. This happens to be one of the first that we've actually turned out for some customers. Obviously, we've done some test stuff. Obviously, we've done some in-house guns, some actual guns for the show that happen to have these on there. But this is one of the first ones that we've actually turned out for our customers. So rear iron, that's going to end up being placed there. That's a Glock style overall, kind of a different concept. Typically we see that in the front, but we happen to have it in the back. Real cool overall. Raptor cuts on that top zone. I really like that. Now, one of the things you're going to notice is we really didn't bring the Raptor cuts all that far down the sides. One of the issues that we do have is that since the sidewalls are so thin, you can kind of see them through here. We want to make sure that we're going to still have somewhat of a side window and structurally not cause any problems. So one of the things that you're going to notice on these 2.0s is that they happen to be significantly thicker, and then they taper down to what's a thinner zone. So you're going to notice that our windows actually start in what is the thinner zone, and we're not actually having any complications here in what is the thicker zone. So placement of cuts is key for us. We want to make sure that we're going to have the longevity of the slide. We're not going to have any issues over time. We're not going to have any things crack or anything like that. So you're going to find that we actually kind of really do that homework, really do that research, make sure that we're making good choices for you. We are looking out for you. We want to look out for the longevity of the slide and you as an individual. So we're making good choices there. Now, something else that you have not seen us done is this happens to be one of our newer designs for our Cobra nose. We've done a lot of Cobra nose cuts in the past, thousands of them probably, but this happens to be one of the first ones that happens to be as large as it is here. We've designed this out a couple of different times over. Thought this one would fit this pattern a little bit better. It does show the barrel a little bit more. So kind of one of those deals where depending upon what the slide is, depending upon what the design is, the package overall, kind of depends on what we're going to choose for that Cobra nose. Overall, I'm really loving it. And once again, as we had discussed, E130 Earth, just an interesting color overall. Guys, we have a couple barrels here. Obviously, we have done some pictures. We're going to add those pictures. You guys kind of know how it goes here. Let's go ahead and add a couple barrels. I want to give you a feel for what we have. Interesting. So we're able to see some barrel. Obviously, once again, those pictures are going to just demonstrate a little bit more. Loving that bigger Cobra cut nose on the front because we're able to see a lot more of the barrel. Obviously, these barrels are quite close to being a flush cut on them. So overall, we are getting a nice visualization on that. So let's go ahead and flip this over. We don't have any springs or anything in here. I hear some crickets in my garage, so I apologize about that. We're running these videos late at night because we are packed with work. So I do apologize about these little critters in here making all this kind of noise. I can't stop them. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over to the gold barrel. Let's take a look and see what we have there. Let's set that down. Let's put this in. Ooh. I like that a lot. Overall, really, really nice. One of the things that you're going to notice, just as we kind of visually go over this, is you're not going to notice that all the writing is gone. Okay, so you're going to find out that on the 2.0s, you happen to find a lot of companies out there that do offer cut work for them. But what you find is that they end up leaving a lot of the writing left over on the sides down and through here because the writing is pretty deep and the sides are pretty thin. So we want to make sure that we actually remove them off the sides. We're going to do our best to make sure that looks as clean as it is every time. So guys, those are the kind of little things that we take into consideration when we are working on your slide for you. As I've said before in the past, I'm going to work on them like they're mine until they leave, then they're yours again. Guys, if you have not been following us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, do so. Subscribe, get your notifications turned on. A lot of content on the webpage. We've got a couple local shows coming up. Hopefully we'll be able to snag a little bit of content from those, kind of just give you a feel for the environment, exactly who's coming, what they're asking for, what they're looking for, kind of a lot of things like that. So obviously there's some good footage, content, overview of stuff that maybe you guys haven't seen. If you are in North Carolina, reach out to us, let us know kind of where you're located, what shows you attend, and we'll see if we can get there. So sometimes, occasionally, as we get a little bit closer to the mid to end of the year, we will do some out-of-state shows. We have done them in the past where we'll travel a little bit, give some of those people an opportunity at different states to let you guys know that we're there, give you the the scheduling ahead of time to come and see us. Once again, to ask those questions, to feel these guns, to get a feel for the cut work overall and what you're potentially what you're spending your hard-earned money on. We really want to make sure that it's a top quality product as it leaves here back into your hands. We really want to offer you the best of the best, and that's exactly what we do here. Guys, if you happen to have any questions, on the webpage is a contacts tab. Use that, fill it out, let us know exactly what you want to have done, and we'll do our best to answer those questions.